welcome to Eastern Weekly. We've made it through the last week of January, and we're celebrating with another great show for you. And I am Laura Fernandez.
And I'm Laura Woodside. It's Laura Squared today on eWeekly, and here's the news.
The circus that an election year brings is pervasive, and Eastern Michigan has been getting its fair share of clowns. I mean, politicians. Republican candidate Dr. Ben Carson visited the Convocation Center last month, and now next Tuesday, February 2nd, EMU welcomes former chair of the Republican National Committee and MSNBC political analyst Michael S. Steele. A self-described Lincoln Republican, Steele has delivered major addresses at the Republican National Conventions in 2004 and 2008, where he coined the phrase, "drill, baby, drill." Last year, he was named as MSNBC's political analyst and has appeared on Meet the Press, Face the Nation, The Rachel Maddow Show, HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher, and Comedy Central's The Colbert Report and The Daily Show. His lecture titled The Political Scene, according to Steele, will be on Tuesday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. in the Student Center Auditorium, and it is free and open to the public.
Access to clean drinking water should be an undeniable human right. This, unfortunately, is not the case for the citizens of Flint, Michigan. The city's decision to begin filtering water from the Flint River left 10 residents dead and thousands poisoned. Celebrities and artists such as Cher, Jack White, Big Sean, Mark Wahlberg, and Eminem are stepping up to help. Well, how can you join their efforts? The Washtenaw Water Drive Coalition teamed up with the United Food and Commercial Workers Union and Meijer to attain a special 75% discount on bottled water. This past Monday, Eastern Michigan teamed up with the coalition, asking students to donate money or water. If you missed the water drive, there's still a way you can help. Go to the link at the bottom of your screen where you can donate money to help buy water for the men, women, and children of Flint. 100% of the proceeds go towards purchasing water.
Are you looking to get involved around campus? Thanks to the Business and Finance Committee, there are even more opportunities for you. They allocated over $15,000 to various clubs and leadership programs, as well as scheduled several campus events. Among these events, Officer Dorsey will be hosting a women's self-defense class on February 2nd from 5 to 8 p.m. There will also be workshops on consent and bystander intervention training on February 3rd from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Student Center, Room 310B. Most notably, there will be a screening of Oscar-nominated The Hunting Ground at 6 p.m. on February 1st in the Student Center Auditorium. For the complete list of the 18 resolutions the committee approved, check out the Eastern Echo to read up.
Cancer has affected us all, whether it be a close relative, family friend, or even yourself. Although there's no cure, we can still fight. Dr. Jenny Hoffman did just that with the help of the Women's Resource Center here at Eastern. In last Thursday's cervical cancer discussion, she discussed the ways students can protect themselves from being exposed to the disease. Use condoms, get vaccinated, and get regular screenings are the best ways, sophomore Megan Copico told The Echo. Every woman should be screened, regardless of how awkward it is. To the handful of students who attended, Dr. Hoffman encouraged the women to get vaccinated and said, "Girls should be vaccinated between 11 and 12 years old. For more information on cervical cancer and ways to combat it, visit cancercenter.com/cervical cancer.
And next we have a new segment we've titled Who's Who at EMU. Host Lamaria Reed will be meeting with campus organization group leaders to talk about what they do and what they offer. Today Lamaria showcases Swoop's Food Pantry, and check it out.
Hello everyone, welcome to Who's Who at EMU. I'm your host, Lamaria Reed, and today I'm interviewing Haley Moranic. She started the food pantry on Eastern's campus, so today she's here to talk to us about that, and hopefully you guys can maybe one day check it out yourself. Hi Haley.
Hi Lamaria.
So Haley, how did you get the food pantry started on campus?
So in May of 2014, I wrote a proposal to begin a food pantry. I started noticing that, like myself, my peers often struggled with the decision about finances. So like, should they pay for personal hygiene items, medical bills, or food? I realized that a lot of other universities, like Michigan State and Grand Valley, have food pantries and a lot of resources to offer their students. And Eastern being one of the most diverse in their student population with Students who are parents and low-income students don't have those kinds of resources. So in September of 2015, we opened the doors to students on campus.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. Was it really hard for you to get that proposal out there? Were people receptive of the program?
At first it was kind of difficult. There was a lot of questions about, well, if students can afford college, how come they can't afford food? Which is kind of silly because all of our money is going to tuition. But the School of Social Work took me under their wing, and they were a huge driving force in beginning the pantry.
Now, are there any qualifications that a student has to be under in order to get food from the food pantry?
So there's no eligibility requirements. We just ask that students are enrolled at Eastern, and they fill out an intake form, which can be found on our website, and that's it.
Now, what is the website that they can go to fill out the intake form?
The website is emich.edu/swoopspantry.
Now, are there, what type of food can we expect inside the food pantry?
Swoop's Pantry offers non-perishable food items as well as perishable food items. So that includes produce, dairy products, and frozen food items like meat. We also have a small collection of personal hygiene items if anybody needs them.
Now, where is the food pantry located at on campus?
The food pantry is located in 376 Marshall.
Okay, now, is there any way that students can donate to the food pantry?
Yes, anybody can donate. We have an account set up through Eastern's Foundation, and we can also accept any sorts of non-perishable food items.
Now, how many students would you say since opening the program that you've seen come through the food pantry?
In the first semester of opening the food pantry, we served 493 students. Became evident that there is a need on Eastern's campus.
Okay. Now, I wasn't familiar with the food pantry program. Do you guys advertise the food pantry? Are there any flyers posted? Because I'm almost positive that a lot of students aren't aware that we actually have this on campus, so it's really interesting.
Right. So keeping the balance between trying to break the stigma around being hungry, as well as be confidential and respectful of the students who are still hesitant about stating that they're hungry, has been difficult. So we've tried to advertise. Most of the students have heard by word of mouth, but we do have flyers posted around campus, and we've done some media through marketing.
Now, how does one, how many times can you come to the food pantry? Like, how do you guys not be taken advantage of in a sense? Because, you know, a lot of people might want to come every week because they're like, free food, you know, let me go as much as possible.
Right.
So what are the barriers for that?
So students are able to come twice a month with an additional third time if they run into some sort of emergency. And we constitute an emergency as a recent job loss, a home eviction, or something of that nature. We have partnered with food gatherers. They sponsor us, so we had to go through a few trainings with them. And talking with them, they explained to us that not many people are going to take advantage of the food pantry. Because, like I said before, there is a lot of stigma around being hungry. And people are also mindful that other people are hungry, so they take what they can and, you know, don't overtake.
Now, outside of donations, how else do you guys get the food into the food pantry?
Yeah, so like I just said, we are supported primarily by food gatherers, and I would say that they give us about 60% of our food, and the other 40% comes from faculty who generously donate, and we also have an account set up through Eastern's Foundation that people monetarily donate to.
Okay, well, can you give us that website one more time so we can either donate to the food pantry and then let us know again where the food pantry is located at?
Yes, the website is emich.edu/swoopspantry, and we are located on the 3rd floor of Marshall in room 376.
Well, guys, that was it for Who's Who at EMU. I'm your host, Lamaria Reed, and this has been Haley Moranic with the Food Pantry.
If you have an organization you're a part of and want to spotlight it here on Who's Who at EMU, contact us at ETV. The email address is etv@emu@gmail.com.
This year's Honors College Star Lecture Series has begun with EMU's own Doris Fields. Halley Library Auditorium was filled with students eager to attend Doris's lecture titled, A Well-Lived Life, Improving Race Relations on Campus, Within the Community, and in the Workplace. Field's lecture involved discussions of issues that occurred on college campuses, such as fear of speaking to strangers that don't look like you, lack of respect, racial intimidation, and miscommunications. Doris Fields is an associate professor of communications at EMU with courses such as interpersonal communication, interracial and interethnic communications, and multiracial children and communication. Fields said, "I don't want my children to experience what I have experienced when I got into a classroom every day with this in my mind. It brings me more joy than anything else to teach race relations." Fields expressed her hope for a change in race relations, with her closing statement being, "20 years from now, I don't want to still be talking about race." We share the same hope as you, Doris.
Autism affects 1 in 68 children and is one of the fastest growing developmental disorders in the United States today. Professor Sally Burton-Hoyle is no stranger to helping students who are in the autism spectrum. She's an advisor to the College Support Program here at EMU. Hoyle told The Echo, when the program first started, there was only 1 student, and now there are over 20 students from across the country. She teaches graduate classes in the area of autism spectrum disorders. The program trains teachers and others to become professionals in the area of ASD. This semester, she's teaching interventions in ASD as well as visual supports. If you'd like to get involved and learn more about ASD, contact the Autism Collaborative Center at autismcenter@emich.edu.
Part 2 of the Bathhouse Reading Series ended last Thursday night with poets Kevin Killian and Wayne Kostenbaum showcasing their most recent photography and paintings. In the series, the poets discussed and showed their works Trans, Altered Space of Consciousness, and Pink, A Queer Way of Coding the World. The event led off with the creative writing professor Rob Halpern. He talked about his personal connection with the 2 guest poets and how their work affected him growing up. Killian is a San Francisco-based narrative writer, playwright, and photographer. He discussed his most recent project, Tagged, an album of intimate photographs of poets, filmmakers, and artists. Also presenting was Wayne Kostenbaum, a New York-based poet, critic, painter, and musician. Kostenbaum displayed a slideshow of oil paintings. And interested to know more about their work? All of the artists' works can be found at the Student Center bookstore. Stop in and have a look.
Well, we're almost a month into the new year, and New Year's resolutions have gone to the wayside. But if you've promised yourself to become more crafty, then here are some inexpensive ideas to help make 2016 a year to remember. Create a visual board. Buy a foam poster board and fill it with images of your hopes, dreams, heroes, and quotes from your favorite authors. So when you're down on your luck, you have a ready-made pick-me-up. How about creating an inspirational book? Print off all those inspirational quotes you liked, retweeted, and blogged. Compile them all together in a report cover. It's a great way to stay motivated. Try keeping a journal. Buy a simple journal and personalize it. Use it to keep track of your thoughts and feelings. Finally, create a memory jar to keep your fondest memories of 2016. This time next year, you'll have a great tool to reflect on what you've accomplished. Most importantly, just have fun with it.
Have you ever wondered about the naked woman outside of Ford Hall? I mean the statue. Here to talk more on it is Dish with Damo.
Daryl Millow's Diana is a bronze statue of the naked female form. She was placed outside of Ford Hall in 1983 when her interesting story began. She has been kept warm from each year's first snowfall by campus Greek life and has been kidnapped twice. Now that's actually an interesting story. In 1986, she was held for ransom. Her kidnappers demanded that the men's basketball coach, Jim Boyce, be fired or Diana would be destroyed. After her safe return in 1986, she disappeared again in 1994, only to reappear a few weeks later ripped from her pedestal. However, she was returned to us in tip-top shape in 1998. In 2010, Diana was moved to storage during Ford Hall's renovation. Afterwards, she was taken out of storage and placed resting under the trees in the southeast corner of Ford Hall, where she stands till this day. After a quick commercial break, Eastern Weekly will be back with a Detroit News freelance sports writer Al Woolman and your Eagle Sports update. Stay tuned.
So I typically would describe Meals on Wheels in 3 words: support. What I mean by support is having somebody there every day you can count on, who's going to be there with a smile and a hot meal for you.
First, I would say that I would be with them if I could, delivering for the people.
Observant?
That's a tough one. I would say, well, more than a meal. I guess that's 4, but close enough.
It's helpful. I mean, just the fact that somebody's doing something for you should make you feel better.
Abundance.
Fulfilling is probably the main top one.
They're good.
I think that we are a compassionate organization.
I think it's great. I give it thumbs up.
It keeps us independent.
Yes.
It's the easiest, most fulfilling job I've ever had.
It keeps us independent so we don't have to depend on anybody.
Independence.
Caring and steady and present, like we're present for these people, every day.
Joyful, brings a lot of peace and a lot of happiness to you at the end of the day.
Sharing.
Caring, responsible.
I think vital to the community.
3 words? I think it's great, actually. Not trying to steal from Tony the Tiger, but yeah, it's great.
It teaches you portion control.
Loving the community that they work in, trying to make the community better.
Helpfulness.
Actually, it's fun. Believe it or not, it's really fun and fulfilling to be doing this type of thing.
Patience.
It pulls at your heartstrings, it does. And it doesn't matter whether you're out en route delivering meals or you're in the office on the phone.
Reliable.
Hope. So people feel like they have hope, that they can stay in their home for as long as possible. I think all of us want to be where we're feeling most comfortable.
Hidden, because we don't advertise. You know about the program, yet you don't think about the program. I think we're out there helping people more than a lot of people even know, so I think it's a very helpful program. I think it's a much needed program that there's a lot of people in our community who just really could use a program like Meals on Wheels that maybe don't even realize that it's there for them.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. Pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.
Welcome to Eagle Sports Update. I'm your host, Al Willman. We're going to tip off today's show with some basketball. James Thompson for EMU notched yet another double-double last night as the EMU basketball team lost its second straight game, 73-58 at Kent State. Thompson had 14 points and 10 rebounds in his 12th double-double of the year. The Eagles return to action Saturday against Western Michigan. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. in Kalamazoo. By now, you've probably heard about EMU's 88-87 double overtime loss on Saturday against Ball State University at the Convocation Center. Ahead 87-85 with 7 seconds left in the second extra frame. Brandon Nazioni turned the ball over on a steal by Ball State's Ryan Weber. Weber got the ball to Francis Kipway, who appeared to make a long two-pointer that would have tied the game at 87 with 1 second left. Instead, he was awarded a 3, and Ball State won by a point. After the game, EMU coach Rob Murphy voices his pleasure with that call, as well as a blatantly missed foul in transition. You don't blame the game on officials, but in my 20 years of coaching, that's the worst ignored call or sequence I've ever seen, Murphy said. Those guys did a bad job throughout the game, but in particular on that play. Thompson continued his impressive statistical season with a double-double. Again, he had 23 points and 14 rebounds in the game. Ty Toney also scored 23 for the Eagles, while Nazioni rounded out the double-figure scorers with 13. The weekend for the women was much better, as EMU took down the University of Toledo 59-41 on Saturday afternoon. Janae Morton had 23 points for the Eagles, who led the entire way. Shea Sweeney added 14. Morton was also named MAC West Player of the Week on Monday. The Eagles improved to 13-5 and 4-3 in the MAC. They play at Bowling Green State University on Wednesday night. Both the women's and men's track teams participated in the EMU triangular meet on Saturday. Both teams won their respective meets over Oakland University and Central Michigan University. The men tallied 138 points while the women scored 140 in the only home meet for either team this season. The men took a 1-2 in the 400-meter dash. Matthew Williams broke the tape with a time of 49.97 seconds. Less than a second later, Mark Cook finished with a 50.21. The Eagles also earned a 1-2 in the 800-meter run, when Scott Bradley ran a 1 minute 54.17, and Joshua Sabo was right behind him with a 1 minute 54.73. Anthony Jones took second place in the weight throw with a distance of 20.84 meters, or 68 feet 4.5 inches. Easy for me to say. The women saw first place finishes from Jessica Harris in the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.69 seconds. Aaliyah McKinney was 200ths of a second behind her in second place. EMU earned a clean sweep in the 400-meter dash when Shantae Roberts won the event with a 56.11, while Kadisha James ran a 58.06 and Jasmine Jones took third with a 58.12. Sophie Galline turned in a personal best 2 minute 14.84 second finish in the 800-meter run to take first. Both teams hit the road next weekend for the Penn State Invitational in Happy Valley. That's all for today. For more EMU sports, check out the Eagles Sports Update, which airs this week. My co-host Derek Maselli and I also sat down with Anthony Jones and talked track and field and more, so stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Shanna Gilkison, and ETV has been a very important part of my life, especially for the last 4 years.
I got my start at ETV in my third semester at Eastern from fellow students, and it's been a great experience.
Working with all these new people that I didn't know before, it's very awesome just seeing how willing people are to get together and create something from scratch.
I'm Shanna Gilkison for Eastern Weekly, and this is E-Walking.
I will also be hosting and producing a sort of like a late night style talk show.
Everyone that's here wants to be here. They care to be here. They want to work. They want to learn. And with that kind of environment, everybody benefits.
I tell you, I've been doing really well, very successful here at Eastern, but it wasn't until I really became part of the ETV club that I really felt like I was getting more of what I needed as a student.
We decided that we wanted to do things above and beyond our coursework. So I was part of founding the ETV Student Org.
It just so happened that Shanna was in one of my classes, and she told me to come, and I showed up, and it was very warm welcome. Like, everybody was very nice to me right away, and they actually had an idea to make a sitcom, or actually they called it a soap opera at that time, and they said they had they weren't sure exactly what they wanted, but they wanted one thing. They knew that they wanted this guy, his name is Ramon, to be their main character. I mean, that was kind of how the show Week at a Glance kind of took off.
Beyond Eastern's walls, when I'm done here, I'll probably be working with some people from ETV, again, professionally. And I think a lot of students don't take advantage of what they should with organizations on campus, and ETV is one of the best.
All right, Eagles, it's time again for this week's installment of Eastern Encounters. I'm going to fill you in on what you guys can do right here on campus over the weekend. We'll start you off with an event first thing on Friday morning. Dr. Reverend Jamie Washington is president and founder of the Washington Consulting Group and the Social Justice Training Institute. He will be coming to EMU to discuss privilege. Join the discussion on Friday from 9 to 11:30 a.m. at the Student Center, room 350. It is free and open to the public. This week's Friday night movie at the Student Center offers an Academy Award nominee for Best Picture. This week's screening is the American historical drama thriller Bridge of Spies, starring Tom Hanks and directed by the great Steven Spielberg. Screenings are both at 8 and 10:30 p.m. at the Student Center. These showings are always free for students. Now, Saturday offers you Beauty and the Beast, as both the EMU wrestling team and gymnastics team take the mat and conference meets at the same time in the same place. Both the wrestling and gymnastics teams will share the floor at Convocation Center at 4 o'clock on Saturday. This is your chance to see a full handspring, tumble pass, and a double leg takedown simultaneously. Don't miss this opportunity to see both of our winning teams take on the Northern Illinois squads. Both contests will be available on ESPN3, but I suggest seeing something like that live. Now on Sunday, EMU biology professor Michael Burkhart will play the organ at Pease Auditorium. Internationally known for his innovative and inspiring hymn festivals and creative work with children, Burkhart is in a frequent demand as a choral clinician, organ recitalist, and hymn festival leader. Your chance to hear him play will be on Sunday at Pease Auditorium at 4 p.m. This event is also open and free to the public. Well, there you have it. That will do it for this week's Eagle Encounters. Add these to your calendar, and maybe I'll see you there. Enjoy your weekend, Eagles.
So that will do it for this edition of Eastern Weekly. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the show.
And for more ETV, head over to YouTube and search ETV at EMU. Bye for now, but we'll see you next week.
Bye. Can we banter? Yes.